episode 80. Wow. That's crazy. All right, here we go. Let's have some fun. Whoop. Whoop. Yeah. Cheers. Come on in, folks. Bam. What's up, everybody? I had my channel screwed up at the beginning, so hopefully everybody found me. Hey, what's up? Cheers. Come on in, everybody. I'm in a good mood. It's summer. Yeah, let me know if I'm sounding good, looking good, the whole thing. If you're new, sit back and enjoy. We're gonna have a really good time tonight. This is live, folks. Oh, thank you, Darla. I've had this hat since 1991. Long time. I bought it the year I graduated high school. It's got surf wax all over it. It's very old. All right, people. Come on in. I got an easy show for me. I've been picking easy subjects just because I'm a little multitasked right now with summer and guests. Yeah, it's a hot day again here. I mean, really hot. Super summer day. I had a bunch of people. Thank you, Dan. I had a lot of people visiting me now. It's summer, so everybody's coming to the beach and blah, blah, blah. And I had some friends out, and I did an interview for a really cool podcast coming out. The podcast is called... Hold on, I'll tell you. I should know this. And it sounds like my record's dirty. The podcast is called Killed by Desk. Killed by Desk. And basically the podcast premise is they interview people that used to be in punk rock bands that were kind of well known that now have desk jobs. Not that I have a desk job, but I work. I do magic shows. So they interviewed me. It was great. I'll tell you when it's on. It's probably August. What's up, Amanda? I was just using this today. Amanda, check this out. Bam. That's some artwork that Amanda did. When did you do this, Amanda? Not that long ago. This is great. And I'm wearing the shirt that this is on. Hi, Mama. Fran's in here. What's up, Mama? See, look. Bam. Same shirt. I don't have my hair comb, though. Yeah, so it's been a beach day. I woke up today and I read Seneca. And Seneca's writing today was really cool. It was him talking about what to do when your friend has someone die close to them and they're in such grief. And it was really neat because he refers to a friend that has some grief. This record's driving me nuts because it sounds like the needle's dirty. Hold on. I can't stand dirty needle. Yep. There's a fuzzball on it. So anyway, and so he has a friend who had his son die. And he's like, look, I'll let him wallow in misery for a little while, but eventually I'm going to criticize his grief. And it's amazing because he talks about a lot of our grief is wasted. It's wasted energy, and it's almost an insult to the person. It's almost like you lost something you possessed. It's like the person had their own life. It's over. And you really, if you had a good relationship with that person, you have the past to think about for the rest of your life, to honor that person. Really great essay. A lot of truth in it. The other thing is, so now I own two of these. These are Amazon purchases. This is an amazing incense burner. I am an incest, the joy of records. Yeah. Well, tonight we're going to be talking about records. Yeah, true. Records are a pain, but they do sound better if you take care of them. So I'm an incense guy. I love incense in all shapes and sizes, but I'm a little bit of a snob, and I like the good stuff. And this is the kind of incense burner you would see in church or whatnot, and I'll show you how they work. For anybody who doesn't know anything about incense, this is what real incense looks like. It comes in like rock form. It's resin. It's actual little pebbles. And to get it to work, you need charcoal. And a pair of these. Now, uh-oh, the heck did I put my lighter? I don't know where my lighter is. Oh, here it is. So, watch this. This is really neat. This type of charcoal they use for incense has some sort of gunpowder in it. Because when you light it, watch what happens. It starts to spark, and that's what makes it burn through. Look. Let me get up. Come on, focus. Why won't it focus? Come on, focus. There we go. I don't know if you can see it sparking. See that spark? No, focus. Anywho. Finicky camera. So you let this go through. You got to light it so it kind of ignites the whole coal. And then you drop these little rocks on it and it cooks them and makes the smoke. Yeah. This is the real stuff. So I own two of these now. They come with even the hook to hang them in the wall. They're not even that much money. So look, you take this. You put it here. And then... oh yeah, here you can see the little sparks. Look, you can see them moving through. It's kind of cool. And then you can drop these on. Hold on, it's not through yet. You can put that on. And that on. And now you can see it's starting to smoke. And that, my friends, is what real incense looks like. All right. Sit back and enjoy the smell. They do use those for hookah. They do. They use the same kind of charcoals. They're not good for you. That's one of the things about hookah that's bad for you is you're lighting charcoal and breathing it in. Charcoal's not meant to be breathed in. So yeah, and this incense is from my favorite company, Fred Soul, S-O-L-L. Fred Soul. This is actual dragon's blood resin. They make stick incense, which is not cheap, but it's this resin ground up and put on the actual stick. It's real. It's not some sort of sandalwood powder with chemicals on it. I think these are about $5 or $6 for a bag. This lasts a while. Yes, it is from that town in New Mexico. Yeah, there you go. You know it. People that have good taste in incense know about Fred Soul. I actually discovered his incense in a Whole Foods. Yeah, I was at a Whole Foods, and you know they have everything fancy. So I go into their little, what do you call it? Pharmacy section, and they had that. And I was like, wow. That's expensive incense. And when I saw that it was actual resin, I bought one. They're about almost $2 a stick. Yeah, that's a lot of money for a stick of incense. But they do burn slow. I'm always pimping this guy's stuff out here. I'm always like, buy his stuff. It really is good. I want him to make lots of money. Yeah, let's start tonight, man. I want to talk music. I got a lot of cool people in here tonight. Eric, Dan, Darla, Amanda. My mom is in the house. Who else is in here? Yep, Nemeth, Mr. William Nemeth. Joaquin, Dan, cool. So I wanted to chat music tonight. That was my goal, and I wanted to get a little detailed about the records and some of the songs and the music and the stuff that changed my life. Um, let's start. I mean, tonight I really wanted to call tonight's episode something simple: life-changing punk rock records. That's it. Um, I won't say that heavy metal records changed my life, although there are some that you could say kind of did, but it's punk rock and there's a reason, and we'll get into that tonight. Um, is the needle already dirty? That means the record's been dirty. Let's see. Yeah, there it is. Filthy. So, as a little kid, when you're a little kid, my mom is in here, she'll tell you, you listen to what your parents listen to. And my earliest memories of music were listening to records at home: Seals and Croft, Captain and Tennille, Blood, Sweat, and Tears, the Saturday Night Fever soundtrack. All of these 70s records, they were in the house, they were being played a lot. And I really did like the music. I did. It's definitely... Oh, wow, look, here we go. Yay! Oh, hey, we got a Toilet Boy fan in here. So... Oh, cool, we got a crowd in here. What's up, the mayor? So, anywho, you're listening to your parents' music, whoop-de-doo, and then when you get a little older, you notice Kiss. And you notice... so metal was your segue into punk. Okay, you're gonna love this. So I went from a little kid listening to my parents' stuff, and then Michael Jackson and all that stuff came into play. And then I started noticing Kiss and some of the hard rock acts of the era. AC/DC, Kiss, all of that stuff around. Finally, I start to find the bands like Twisted Sister, Quiet Riot, the radio-friendly heavy bands. Why? Because it was on the radio. They weren't playing punk rock on the radio. I didn't have a college radio station. I didn't have an older brother playing me metal and punk. I didn't have that. I had what my parents showed me and the radio. And eventually, you're in 5th grade, you're in 6th grade. I liked whatever was moderately popular. Van Halen, loved. Queen, loved. Blondie, loved. But I still didn't find the real gems. At this point in my life, 6th grade, 5th grade, personally, I started to, Sabbath, big one. I pulled away from a lot of things mentally. I realized I was an atheist. I had hobbies that you weren't allowed to talk about, like a lot of the stuff in the occult. In the 80s, you couldn't talk about that stuff. The hammer would fall on you. So I had things that I liked that you weren't allowed to talk about. I also was an atheist in a land of non-atheists and being told that was bad. And I'm discovering that I have a learning disability, but yet I like performing. So I'm just discovering who I am and how I'm going to forge ahead, right? And so I didn't have a soundtrack for that. I didn't have something to reflect my ideas off of in mode of expression, meaning how I dress, how I express myself. I didn't really see anything that I identified with on such a deep and meaningful level in the populace eye. I didn't see it. I had things I liked, but nothing that really was like, this is something I can really taste and touch and feel and get to know. And along comes middle school. How many of you out there in middle school really did open up to the world of discovery? I mean, I went to a very small elementary school, and like that, I was thrown with the wolves. My middle school was big. Big middle school. Classic, big building, And I naturally gravitated to the weird kids. The skateboard weirdos, the Dungeons and Dragons kids, the misfits, the weirdos. And the only thing that I could do in that school situation, extracurricular that I liked, was theater, which I did. And I'm not a sport guy. No. I liked the ski club. We had a ski club. From middle school to high school, ski club was, for 3 months, you got to go skiing once a week. And I don't remember what day it was, but I remember it was like a Tuesday or a Wednesday. Hey, Bill Yon, if you're in here, he jumps in here, he'll remember. There's a guy that jumps in here named Bill Yon that was around me, and we were all part of the same kind of circle. Bill, I don't remember him skiing, but he was around Tim Gatehouse, who skied. So the moment was this. I remember we would have these Greyhound buses pull up in front of our school, and we would, Don Slater, what's up, buddy? How are you? Come beach party. So yeah, these buses would pull up. I think there was only 1 or 2 buses. And right after school, so at like 3 p.m. we'd get in. It took about 40 minutes to get to the little ski joint. And then we would ski till, pretty late at night. And on the bus, that's where we listened to our little Walkmans. Everybody had their silly little tape player Walkmans. And, we would do the bit where we would kind of listen to the same one because you couldn't listen together. So my buddy, Tim Gatehouse, who had an older punk rock brother who skateboarded and surfed and skied, he played me a record. And, there were 2. The first thing he played me was, and I don't have it, and it's hard to find, Better Youth Organization, BYO. It was a compilation of a bunch of punk bands. And on that record, it's just a mixed bag of bands. I'm trying to think of some of the bands that were on there that are well known. 7 Seconds, SNFU, those bands. A lot of Cali punk stuff. That was what was on the comp. And I liked it. I didn't know what I was listening to, but I liked how fast it was and how bombastic. It was like, it was like fast drums. But I didn't grab onto it. It didn't say anything to me. It's just I liked the speed and the rhythm. And then in the same kind of time right then and there, he played me a record that really did change my life. And it was, here it is. I first had the tape. Folks, right here. Dead Kennedys, In God We Trust. In God We Trust, INC. People always forget to put that. This record is an EP. It's not long. And it was in a tape form. And I remember the second side of the tape, I believe, is blank. So that you could bootleg something, is what it said. And Youth of Today. Yeah. So, oh yeah, Fugazi Repeater. Yeah, that's a good. Daryl, what's up, buddy? So here's the song. He plays it. I'm going to turn this off because I can't think with Baroque music in the background. But the first song on this record is Religious Vomit. And it starts off, it goes, it changed my life. It goes, bum, 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 and then it starts. And that beginning, it sounds really kind of caveman. And then the way he's singing, it literally sounds like he's chewing on rubber. And then I found out the guy singing's name's Jello, and he legally changed his name to that. So I'm already like, whoa. And the lyrics are, all religions make me throw up. All religions make me sick. All religions make me throw up. All religions suck. They claim to have the truth to set you free. They set you free. Give them all your money and they'll set you free. Free for a fee. They claim to have the answers when they don't even know the questions. They're just a bunch of liars. They just want your money. They just want your consciousness. Those are the lyrics to the song. Here we go. C.R. Mealy. We are gathered here tonight to pay tribute to our Lord and money unto me. So really, it changed my life. It was the first time I heard someone shitting on religion that openly and that bombastically. Musically, it was a very caveman sound, but organized. Um, Here's something. Jello Biafra doesn't sing vibrato. He sings tremolo. There's a difference. I'm going to explain it tonight, and a lot of people don't know the difference. And I mean, literally, I was just like, I can't believe he's saying the thing I wish I could make into a song. He wrote it. It's called Religious Vomit. It's the first song on the record. And then it goes into Moral Majority, which is another classic song, and that's it's really, it really did. It was a hammer on the head. It let me know I wasn't alone. That some of the crazy ideas I had, not only did other people think them, they made music about it. What? The label, Alternative Tentacles, you got to order from this little thing. It's not on the radio. Life changing. That's it. You can blame this. This was the one. And I still to this day like listening to this record. I like this song Keepone Factory, Dog Bite. I mean, it's just a cool little EP. It's an EP. It's short. So after reading that, now let me just explain the difference between vibrato and tremolo. Vibrato is pitch wobbling. So, ho, that's the pitch going, ho, it's going down and up. Romeo Ben, right? Like opera singers. Tremolo is volume. I can't do it. It's like, you are the one. Like that. That would be tremolo. Tremolo guitar does that. It's very rare to hear someone sing tremolo. It's the rare one. I think it was more popular like in the 20s. You would hear it more often. But it's hard to do. So, yeah. Yeah, that's it, William. I felt as a child that there was something different about how my brain worked that I just couldn't see around me. And then I started finding this stuff. And I'm like, oh, okay, I'm not alone. So right after Dead Kennedys, that was it. That was like, wow, there's all this punk rock music. Where? More. So now back then, you didn't have access to music. People don't remember that. You just couldn't get music. If I wanted a Dead Kennedy record and I was at home, you're not getting it. Oh, what if you go to the mall? You're not getting it. The record store probably didn't have that stuff. You had to go to specialty stores. Or your friend had it. So between you and your friends, you collected music. And so back then, it wasn't about the quantity. It was like you would listen to this over and over and over and over. Why? Because you didn't have any other records. You know, you only had a little bit. People forget that. Oh my God, that's great. He wore, C.R. Mealy said, wore my DK shirt the day after high school teacher Mr. Kennedy died. Sent me right to school psych. Oh, that's so good. I remember my buddy shaving DK in the back of his head in high school. But yeah, really, they talked about religion, politics. They went into like the things no one was willing to discuss. So what band did I gravitate to next? Well, it gets to be blurry. But I do remember certain moments. And one of them is the Ramones, straight up. The Ramones, I don't know what the first song was I heard, but it most likely was Blitzkrieg Bop or Beat on the Brat. And the thing I noticed about it was I understood what the instruments were doing. Dead Kennedys, I had to go back. When I started actually learning how to play instruments, when I revisited Dead Kennedys, I was quite impressed because some of the stuff's kind of complex. Ramones, I liked because I liked the lyrics. They were singing about things that meant something to me, like chainsaws and sniffing glue. For a middle schooler, that's a big deal. But they also threw in some weird politics and some tableau songs about lifestyle and the way things were from a working class point of view, like the song 53rd and 3rd. You know, as a kid trying to figure out the meaning and kind of realizing he's talking about a gay hustling life. Pretty serious, right? They sang about Nazis from a non Dead Kennedys sang against Nazis. Ramones didn't sing against them, but because they were Jewish guys in the band, but they sang almost like it's like a sympathetic, like making fun of the guy from a sympathetic point of view. If you listen to Today Your Love, Tomorrow the World. So they did push the envelope. And musically, I understood it, and the recording quality was good. They were on Sire Records. They had a decent recording contract. Oh, damn, we're getting to Cockspar in a second. I'm a major Cockspar fan. We're going to get to that. Hold on. I like European punk rock. Oh, yes, I do. I like a lot of the English stuff. So, Ramones is still to this day my favorite band. I mean, the Ramones aren't even a band for me anymore. It's the soundtrack of my life. Not my childhood. My life is Ramones. They captured all the bases. Dead Kennedys captured a lot of bases, but not all of them. They weren't romantic. I don't think of romance when I think of Dead Kennedys. The Ramones, I do. They have the greatest love songs ever. So, and I don't own every Ramones on vinyl, but I do have a lot. And, obviously their first record to me is, not only did it change my life lyrically, musically, it's how I learned how to play music. I learned how to play the bass, the drums, the guitar, and sing harmonies because of this record. So I have to put this in the, and this is my signed copy. Yeah, this is special. And guys, I like this one too. Rocket to Russia is probably, dude, all of their stuff. These two are the ones, like, sonically and musically, wow. So we got Dead Kennedys, but not long after this moment of my life where we're going through all these bands, GBH, Exploited, Rudimentary Peni, I don't know, but Exploited, they're on my list here. So this to me is in my top 5 favorite records of all time. This is one of the Dead Kennedy records this is called Plastic Surgery Disasters. Anybody watching? If you play hard music, right here. The thing that Dead Kennedys did that blows my mind is they would write songs and they broke all of the songwriting rules. Meaning the lyrics didn't rhyme all the time. To make a point, sometimes Jello, the singer, would say one thing over and over again for a really long time. Way longer than you would normally do in any kind of a song. Things change quick. The rhythm changes. It breaks all the rules. It also is very theatrical, Dead Kennedys. Some of their songs are like, too drunk to F beep is not romantic. No. Exactly. That's what they sang about. And, the whole time, these bands have this energy. They wrote about what they wanted to write about, I do know that on the Ramones' first record, they did change some lyrics. Today Your Love, Tomorrow the World. The lyrics are, I'm a Nazi baby, I'm a Nazi, yes I am. I'm a Nazi Shotzi, gonna fight for my father's land. The record is, I'm a shock trooper in a stupor. Yes, I am. I'm a Nazi Shotzi, gonna fight for my father's land. Now, they did it. Seymour Stein, who's also Jewish, was like, hey, we can't have that many Nazis. So Joey got rid of the first group and just kept the second. But live, he always did the original lyrics. I think they liked how shocking it was, and I was shock value. Sung by a Jewish guy. So, okay, yeah. All right, hold on. Mr. Mealy, you brought up something. One of my okay, top 5 favorite records on this record is one of my top 5 favorite songs, and you just said it, brother. Moon Over Marin. Now, it's to me it has a very nostalgic romantic energy, but the lyrics are about pollution. And anybody ever want to hear a cool rock tune? Moon Over Marin by Dead Kennedys. And he says the word moonlight a lot in the song too, and it's one of the reasons why I wanted to name my daughter Moonlight. But that's on this record. Yeah, Moon Over Marin. Beautiful, beautiful song. I mean, really, like a really beautiful melody and vibe. So I'm getting like excited because I want to blast this as soon as we're done tonight. Now, as we're like getting into these bands, as the English bands go, Cockspur, who's probably in my top 5 favorite bands of all time too, I didn't find them right away. They weren't around so much. I remember hearing the name, but not so much. Sham 69 and some of these other bands I remember hearing about, but not Cockspur. Sex Pistols, Buzzcocks, The Damned, Exploited, GBH, all the English bands, I liked them. I did. I didn't. My favorite out of that, I mean, I do like some of the Sex Pistols stuff. I do. They have a really cool rock vibe. But I love the Buzzcocks. I think they have an incredible drummer bass player. I do. I remember when the White Power guys would show up to gigs. Yeah. The Addicts I like. Yeah, you kind of had to deal with the Nazi guys once in a while, but not too often. I mean, they were around. So the English stuff to me was good. I liked it. But it didn't have, I mean, they had a working class thing going in England too. They were coming out of a depression of sorts too. So they had a reason to be angry and do something, which is make a band and do something. So it had the energy. It didn't have the New York energy though. New York, the thing that we had here is we had the New York Dolls. We had this like sleazy, I don't want to say the word gay, but we had that part of the scene because the New York Dolls weren't gay, but they definitely leaned into this gender bend kind of thing. You know, they were like dudes wearing lots of makeup and glamming themselves out and singing about street stuff. We had that here in New York City, and I and that's what fueled the Ramones and all this stuff. It came from that New York Dolls thing. So I did like those bands. Now, at this time, I'm learning. Zalthon did something. What happened, Zalthon? Oh, someone said something. That's okay. I started to learn how to play instruments. So, of course, the Ramones is how you do it. It's easy, right? Well, as I started listening to music, I started hearing that you can't play the bass with your fingers like the beginning of what's the Exploited song? Psycho. I when I heard that I was like, all right, he's definitely not doing that with his fingers. He's using a pick. So I tried it and I started learning how to pick faster, and then I discovered this. Folks, this right here. You want to go punk rock to hardcore? Holy moly. This here. Brilliant. These were young kids singing about being straight edge and like really thoughtful things that young kids you wouldn't think want to write music about. Very like nostalgic, thoughtful energies that, you know, these young dudes are writing with this great hardcore stuff. I mean, and this is where I, like, as a bass player, I still to this day, this is some of my favorite stuff to play on the bass guitar. Just the bounce to it all. And the speed and the tightness of it all. It's all on that record. So that's when I started listening to hardcore. Now, while all of this punk rock stuff is literally opening my mind, making me want to become a musician, making me think more about politics, making me question all authority. Whoa, someone just won a lot of points. Damn. Someone just won 461 points. Oh, no, you have 461. I thought you just won. Wow. So I'm listening to heavy metal while this is all going on. And I'm listening to a lot of King Diamond and Merciful Fate. I had a lot of friends that made fun of that guy. They thought he was cheesy, and I'm like, you can call him cheesy all day. I don't care. He's incredible. His singing's incredible. The songwriting's incredible. The musicianship on the albums is ridiculous, and the recording quality. Abigail, come on. Even the Merciful Fate, the Fatal Melissa, and Don't Break the Oath, and all of that stuff. Musically, I liked it. I thought it was cool. I liked how it was like an opera. It was like an opera in rock and roll form. I liked Iron Maiden. I wasn't a Judas Priest guy, but I liked Iron Maiden. I liked Motorhead. I liked all of these bands. I really did. I thought they all had a different voice. Some of the hardcore stuff started to blend together, and I didn't really pop it out. DRI, yeah. I remember them. I wasn't a major fan, but yeah, I had some of their tapes. The bands that threw me, and we'll talk about those, because there was a few. One of them was the Cramps. Oh my God, Frank Zappa, genius. And I don't like using that word all over the place, but he really was a musical genius. Helloween from Germany. So the band that threw me for the loop were the Cramps, because there was nowhere to check and see what they sounded like. You just had to buy a tape and figure it out. And I remember seeing like Songs the Lord Taught Us and buying it and being kind of shocked. It was like, this isn't punk rock. I don't know what I'm listening to, but it's not punk rock. Well, it's rockabilly with a punk rock energy is what it is. It was old school rock and roll done by a newer band, their way. And I loved it. And the other band that threw me for a loop were the Misfits. I remember being on a ski trip. My buddy goes, here's some punk rock you're going to like. 20 Eyes. Wow. I couldn't stop singing it. 20 Eyes. That melody is just like burned into my brain. It was literally at that time the catchiest punk rock I had ever heard. Catchy. So catchy, I couldn't stop singing it. And I'm going to put some more, hot. Put some more incense here. So that band I became obsessed with for a few reasons. Musically, I put it on par with the Ramones. Not too complex. But lyrically and the band's image, oh my God, it was my little kid fantasy come to life. It was Famous Monsters of Filmland in band form. The songs were about B-movies and monsters and odd-beat subjects. The look of the band was punk rock, but kind of spooky monster with a little kitsch added. I mean, it had all these moments. Not moments. It had a lot of edges to it that all came together for a perfect package for me as a kid. It was missing the politics and the anger, but it was done with a wink and a little bit of fun, and I liked that. And I really, yeah, they're in my top 5. Obviously, they changed a lot of people's lives, but it to me still wasn't the Ramones. It's still not Joey singing a love song, or Joey, or Dee Dee singing Warthog about heroin addiction, and how listening to him yell those lyrics while you know it's real. Come on, folks. This is beautiful art, man. This is the Ramones. Now, I'm a little boy. I read all monster magazines I can get my hands on. And of course, Fangoria was really popular. And I liked it. It's the kind of magazine your family didn't like. You know, the front cover has someone with an axe in their head. Totally over the top. And I remember seeing an ad in the back. Fangoria. Splatter Rock. Folks, if you don't know this band, The Accused, I highly recommend it. Especially this record. Yeah, I mean, the Misfit lyrics were B-movie in audio form. This band is where the metal, the punk, the thrash, a little jazz, all mixed in. This is amazing. This band has noise. They do blast beats. I mean, this band, I really think... well, yeah, Misfits... Metallica did open the door for the Misfits. Yeah, that's true. This band, The Accused, I got to see them for the first time a few years ago, and I got to party with them for a couple days. So I took them on the town one night and showed them around, and then I went to their show the next night and partied with them. Amazing band, amazing people. Blaine is in the Seattle region. He has Zippy's Hamburgers is his joint. Him and his family run it. Dude, this band right here, folks, badasses. Tough, amazing. Oh, yeah, I mentioned Motorhead earlier. Yeah, Motorhead's a crossover band. Major fan. But The Accused, this made me want to learn how to play better, too. It did, because they would rip into these almost jazz riffs, and it made me want to understand music a little better. The other band, well, okay, so while I'm a kid, right, it's hard to find new music. Unless someone introduces it to you, you can't get it. Well, there was a movie, a video you could rent called Erg, A Music War, and this is the soundtrack. If you've ever seen the movie, I highly recommend it. The DVD. Where is it? I just bought it. I bought it like 8 months ago. I don't know where I put it. Anyway, you can get it on DVD for like $8, folks. It's a party. You buy the movie, throw a party, and just show it. It's that kind of a movie. All it is concert footage. I think it's 3 or 4 concerts filmed for the film. 4 different shows. Shared you guys played with them upstairs at Nick's. Oh, yeah. I remember that place. Upstairs at Nick's? Where is that? Philly? Wilmington? Baltimore? So Erga Music War was live footage of punk rock bands, new wave, reggae, pretty much anything alternative. The Police, the Dead Kennedys, the Cramps, surf punks, the Go-Go's, some really underground stuff like Perubu, Klaus Nomi, all on here. Unfortunately, the soundtrack doesn't have all the bands. It's missing a lot. It doesn't have the Dead Kennedys. So, there you go, the mayor. Yes, this is a really good movie. I really do. If you want a party night, go on Amazon, look it up, buy the movie. It's like really cheap. And it's filmed really cool. Oh yeah, in Philly, upstairs at Nick's. Now I'm remembering. I didn't discover Cox Bar until a little later. Major fan. Top 5 favorite band. These guys are one of the Oi inventors. You know, early skinhead band. Started off as glam. Went Oi. They're Oi skinheads. But not the bad kind. Not the Nazi kind. These are the working class guys. Great songs. Great lyrics that mean something. And they're still together. Yeah. Here we go. Oh, yeah, here. Well, do I need to say more? I mean, look at that record cover. Angry Red Planet right here. Super obscure horror film. Look at the back cover, folks. Come on. I mean, these guys had the image down. Now, when you're in high school and you're going to record stores, you listen to stories. Hey, I saw this band, I saw that band, this is good, that's bad, right? A lot of rumors. And then you hear about the band that kills people. What? Yeah, they behead people, they squirt blood all over the crowd. Well, I want to see that. Oh yeah, so you've seen them live. You know, they're boss live. When they walk out on stage, Cockspar owns it. Well, one of my favorite bands of all time. I've seen them a million times. I have Dave Brockie tattooed here. Yes, Gwar. Actually, yeah. Wow. One of my favorite bands of all time, folks. This band changed my life because they did something important. Yes, they're wearing monster costumes and singing from a monster point of view, but they really did have some amazing lyrics and something to say. Behind this monstrous image, they were really good. And a lot of people think they were a joke and it's not real, but really. Yeah. So your high school was 93 to 98, which is when Gwar was hitting it hard. Look at this. Look at that. Those are the slaves. Those guys are the ones that set up everything on stage while the band's playing. They're setting up the blood tubes. So I heard this band does a crazy show. And yes, in high school, I got to see them. I still remember the first Gwar show I ever saw. Front row. End of the show. They used to do a thing called voodoo summoning, where they would do this like voodoo ritual and kill this fake goat and do this whole thing. And it's like an instrumental. And I remember them doing that. And at some point, the singer, Odorous, is beating the audience with fake swords and fake hammers. And I remember being in the front row. And I saw him coming over to me to whack me with one of those big hammers. And I was like, whack me! And he hit me right here. And my God, it hurt. It was like, boom! I could like feel it. Yeah, I mean, it was amazing. And I remember hanging out afterwards and watching them clean up their gear because there's so much fake blood on everything. And they had these big vats and they would throw all their props in the vat without cleaning them. And I was like, yo, when do you clean that stuff? And it was Sleazy, the manager guy. He was like, we clean them like every couple shows, like every 3-4 shows, we hose it off. I was like, wow, it must stink. So when Dave Brockie died, so people don't know this, but Dave Brockie got the singer for Gwar, who died. He got a job as a Fox News commentator. Now, why it's brilliant is he was kind of making fun of Fox News without them noticing it. Because the character Odorous is kind of like a Republican, because he's very like, I don't know. He's like a Republican on steroids. You know, if anybody's in the way, just kill them all and move them out. And he's very like, ah. And so they used him as like a joke, even though he's kind of making fun of them. And when he died, they did a special segment like, Odorous died. And they were like, all right, we're going to tell you something. He smelled so bad when he came in the studio, we almost vomited. And every time he would show up, that's what it was. Why? Because of the costume. You can't clean those things. So he would put that costume on and just reek. Well, yeah, Mayhem is crazy. Yeah, that's a crazy band. Now, out of the black metal bands, I do like Immortal a lot. That's my favorite. Mayhem was never my favorite. I don't hate them. I actually like some of their stuff. But Immortal, great band. Now, as I got older, I started listening to more metal. And the band that I really do put in my top 5 is Manowar. I'm a huge Manowar fan. I've seen them a bunch. They have one of the best live shows I have ever seen. They're right there with the Ramones for me. They have a simple show, but it's perfect. Now, one of those members got put away for doing some kiddie porn stuff, and that's like recently just happened. Terrible. I hope he rots in jail. But the main dudes in the band, the singer and the bass guy, they're really good. Like, they write good stuff. It's kind of like if Conan the Barbarian could have a band, that's what it would be. So it's like a fantasy lyric with a heavy metal, you know. Yeah, black metal. Okay, so Dan P, if you've never loved black metal, you might like Immortal. And the reason why is Immortal, their favorite bands are Kiss and Manowar. Yeah. So like look up the band Immortal. Yeah, Ooh is right. Yeah, well, they caught him and they threw him away. He wasn't even the original guy. He was like a newer guy. And yeah. Gone. Yeah, other bands play. Manowar kills. Manowar's considered the loudest band in the world. I believe they are. I've seen them. And I'll tell you right now, it's so loud that you can feel it in your teeth. It's so loud, but it's not loud where you can't hear it. It's actually really audible. You can hear every crispy sound. It has to do with frequency. They have a couple people that do their sound that know how to maximize the frequencies and split them so they're all separate, and then they raise the volume. I brought a friend, Toilet Boy drummer Eddie. He'd never seen them. This isn't that long ago. This is like 7-8 years ago. And I was like, all right, you're going to freak out at how loud it is. It's kind of cool because you start to hallucinate. And he was like, all right, so the first song comes on, and Uada. I got to look that up. So the first Manowar song comes on, and my buddy's like, it's not that loud. And I'm like, just wait. So the second song is a little louder. He's like, all right, it's louder. By the third song, he's like, oh my God. Yeah, like your eyes are rattling. That's how loud it is. And it's kind of cool. You worked a Manowar and Iced Earth show? Wow, I like Iced Earth too. So tell me about that. Was it fun? I'm curious. I do like Manowar a lot. I really do. I think they put on a really good show. The bass player, the band leaves the stage, and the bass player does a metal sermon. Yeah, like a real one. Iced Earth has some cool stuff. The problem with Iced Earth is they have too many singers. They've had like 10 singers. Very inconsistent. My new record that is an old record that I've been listening to a lot recently is this. The Ramones' first live album. The sound quality on this is sick. It really is. It just sounds so good. Yeah, every now and then I just turn this up and blast it. It's got the coolest inside photo spread. I'm a fan. If I had to only pick one band to listen to for the rest of my life, I'd pick Ramones. I really would. Tribulation? Melodic? Okay. Yeah, black metal is a broad subject. You know, it really is. It doesn't... There's some tropes to it, like the blast beat and the tremolo picking with kind of atonal melodies, poorly recorded music. You know, there's some things that make it black metal. Instead of Cookie Monster, it's Popeye. It's like a different, higher sound. Watain, yes. I like Watain. So I do like, lots of leather jackets and white Converse high tops. Yeah, that's Manowar. I love it. Yeah, I just, there's so much music. There's so many good bands. I do the thing that I've done with everything. And this is what I wanted to end with tonight. And I always say this over and over, and I just recommend everybody give this a try. Anytime you have to make a decision to watch something or listen to something new or take a recommendation from a friend to read a book, pretend like you only have 2 years left to live. Not one. Too close. 2. Yeah, Watain buries their clothes in graveyard dirt and then unpack it right before the show. No kidding. I heard about it. My friend worked that show. Gothic country? Wow. So the 2-year thing is this. 2 years is long enough away that if the doctor's like, you have 2 years to live, you might plan some cool stuff. A trip, visit some people, um, learn something you always wanted to learn. You could do that in 2 years. So when somebody recommends something to me, now I'm not saying I'm not going to check out some of this stuff in here. Actually, that Tribulation band I've been wanting to hear, and that Uada, I'm curious about that. UADA. Yeah, Dead from Mayhem used to sleep in graveyards too. I'm not even mentioning all the Japanese bands I like. I like Japanese metal. I love it. So 2 years. Would you listen? Would you read the book that you're from? Would you watch the TV series that's going to take a few days if you knew you had 2 years to live? Or would you rather listen to something you've always loved? Or would you rather listen to something you've never heard but you've been wanting to hear yourself, not a recommendation? And when I do this little 2-year trick, it really does help me make decisions. It does. It's like I always tell people, if you have kids, you miraculously start making more money. It's not a miracle. It's because you have something to help you make a decision now. You have mouths to feed. So when a decision presents itself, it's very clear. Ska kick. So ska, I do like ska. I do. Especially live. I mean, come on. Ska live is so fun to jump around to. Murphy's Law is one of my favorite bands for hardcore. The drummer lives down the block. And I'm friends with Jimmy. And dude, when they rip into ska live, wow. Nothing comes close. Oh my God, Guitar Wolf, of course. I'm a big fan. Love them. My favorite Japanese band, though, is Seikimatsu. Seikima, Seikeima 2. Seikimatsu. It's a weird word, and they're not popular because it's all in Japanese, but it's Japanese metal, kind of like Kiss meets Iron Maiden. Yeah, Murphy's Law is great. So much bands, so much history, so much of my life is in these music. This music was the soundtrack for my life. It was a reflection of my life. This music is what got me sitting right here today, and I like to reflect upon it. I like to look and see if there's anything I missed. And there is. There's a lot of bands I missed. I just found a band recently called... Hold on. I want to tell you because I never heard of them. Hold on. I just found these. They only had a few songs. They were a New York City band. Oh, yeah. Mumps. M-U-M-P-S. Not the Mumps, just Mumps. And they have a song called Muscle Boys. Dude, look up Mumps. M-U-M-P-S. A band I never heard of. Look at that band Death. Not the metal band Death, the early punk band Death. People didn't know who they were. Now they do. They made a movie about it. It's called A Band Called Death. Check it out. Amazing movie. Early Afro punk. Black dudes making punk music in the early 70s that no one knew about from Detroit. Great band. Yeah, so there's still digging to do. I'm always digging for Ramones stuff I don't know about. There's not much to find. There's videos and stuff that I find, but not a lot. I found a new band called Gramones, Gramones, and it's a Ramones cover band from Spain. That's so good. It's hard for me to listen to. It chokes me up. It's like, it sounds like Joey. You got to hear the guy. It's like a little too close to home. Whenever I hear it, I'm like, whoa, that's Joey. Whew. So, wow, I had a good time tonight, folks. I got to eat. I didn't eat anything. And I had a great crowd in here tonight. A lot of good chatter about bands. I got bands to look up. I got bands to look. And, yeah. Thank you, everybody. I just wanted to share that. I know a lot of you can relate to these stories. Bill Yon's in here. Where are you, Bill? Bill, you were around when these records, I was learning about them too. It was Tim Gatehouse's brother that I have to Tim and Tim Gatehouse's brother for turning me on to this stuff. Because he would give it to Tim and then Tim would show me at school. I mean, man, what a good time we had. I have such good memories of me, Tim, and Bill at lunch. And literally all we did was talk about Dungeons and Dragons and punk rock bands. So, wow. What a life, folks. All right. I'm going to bounce out of here. I got stuff to do. It's still hot out. And I got to get ready for my shows tomorrow. Not sure if I'm going to be here on Friday because I think I have another gig. But I will be here on Monday. I might still be on Friday. I'm not sure yet. Monday, for sure. This was episode 80, everybody. If you're new to this channel, it's basically 3 times a week. And if you're liking the show, hit the subscribe button. It's very hard to get subscribers. Hit the like, hit the notify. If you're the donating type, great. It goes right in the show. All my live equipment right now came from the donors. It really did. So it does go into the show. I don't blow it on nonsense. And I do this full time. And I like it. And I can't wait to do more. I got a really fun group here. So everybody, thank you from the bottom of my heart. And I'll see you around soon. Episode 80. Wow. Get out there. Enjoy the summer. And I'll see you all around. Thank you, Bill, William, Dan, Malcolm, everybody in here, the mayor. There was some new people in here. Darla's in here. Peter Benedetti's in here. My mom is in here. William. Who else? Corey Cooper. Amanda's in here. Oh, Mr. Mealy. Don Slater. Yeah, everybody, thank you. And if you're new, really hit that stupid subscribe. That's the least you can do. Just subscribe to my channel. I promise good content. And I promise to keep making these as best I can. So, everybody, party on. I'm going to take us to the outro. And, yeah, see you later.